who fight for you. If you don't gain, they fight in vain. Show them what you can do. Show them what you can do. Please show them what you can do. I said, in this parade, please wave your grades at the brave who fight for you. If you don't gain, they fight in vain. Show them what you can do. Show them what you can do. Please show them what you can do. You make this parade a mere charade if you're marching just for fun. Our troops must feel your thanks for real.
Once again to the program that is dedicated to the partnership between American students and American veterans, as well as active troops. My name is Carl Boyd. I am your civilian host of this program that is dedicated to American students striving for excellence in honor of our troops. It is an academic patriotism program, and we are very pleased with our relationship with serious students who really are striving for excellence. And that's always good for our veterans in particular to see that they have not served in vain. This afternoon is a special program. This is the July 4th weekend. Today is Saturday, July 2nd, and our regular first Saturday guests enjoying the holiday gives us an opportunity. And Brother Walker, I can say that God is good, because sometimes what seems to be a problem is really an opportunity. And there are some things that I would love to mention. And in the absence of those special guests who will be with us again quite soon, allow me to start the program with a few announcements. And by the way, Louis George Walker, producer, engineer, founder of KUAW.org, inspiration to those of us who are following his lead and the young people with whom you work. I will also be hearing from you some good news, interesting news about things going on around the world. So let me start by saying with Wave Your Grades, this program, that it is sponsored by our Stutes for Boots 501c3 organization. And the Stutes for Boots organization is that organization that takes advantage of opportunities to see students at their best in competitive events, in programs, school color guards participating where military are present. And STUTS is an acronym. Not only is it short for students, STUTS, but it is also an acronym, STOOTS, which stands for Students Theater of Operations, the school. So just as those who are militarily employed have theaters of operation where they are sent because duty compels them to go, we with Stutes for Boots are suggesting that students have a theater of operations as well, and that is the school, that is the classroom, that is the laboratory, that is where you young people can show America that your excellence is not just because you have the ability to be so, but there is purpose in your pursuit of learning. And that purpose is to make sure that veterans know that they have not served in vain. So that's what that is about. Now, Brother Louis George Walker, I think I might have announced before, but it will be repeated, that the Wave Your Grades broadcast, this webcast, has a partnership as well as Stutes for Boots with the Veterans of Foreign Wars Auxiliary, Post 8100, and that is in Grandview, Missouri. Now, the interesting thing is, as I introduced myself, I said, my name is Carl Boyd. I am your civilian host of Wave Your Grades, and yet I enjoy a membership in the Veterans of Foreign Wars Auxiliary. Let me explain how that occurred. My oldest brother, Herbert William Boyd Sr., was a Marine, and he was deployed in Korea, 1952 until 1955. Because my brother, though I'm a civilian, was in a foreign war in Korea, then I can be a part of the auxiliary to veterans of foreign wars, which I am, and that post being located in Grandview, Missouri, is now talking about the different ways that we can partner with the activities young people can be a part of if they volunteer to be so, or if their schools are involved, however that might go. I really am proud of the fact that I am allowed not only to be a part of that Veterans of Foreign Wars Auxiliary, but they are allowing me to be the chair of the youth committee. So, with Mrs. Josiah Tyler, and Miss Irene Kendrick, and me. I am Carl Boyd. We are the Youth Committee for the Veterans of Foreign Wars Auxiliary Post 8100, and we will be announcing such things as an essay arts contest. If I have not explained that before, Brother Walker, let me tell you how we think that that will go, depending upon how it fits with protocol where other auxiliaries are concerned. It would be to ask our young people to take a look at their morning messages, and that morning messages, which is a calendar of 366 days now in book form, will be given to those young people who participate in the essay arts contest, and they will be asked out of 366 captions that we pray do make sense. They would select one. And whatever that caption might be, they would write an essay around it saying, this is what this caption means to me. Now, we have added a dimension to writing that essay, and we're calling it an essay arts contest because now we would like for those who are participating to render a caption that is artistic. So it is an artistic caption for the word caption. And we call it an essay arts contest because the essay would be accompanied by a work of art. The way that we expect that it will go is one person, one student might indeed pen the essay and offer the art rendering, or it might be a partnership. One student does the artwork, the other student does the essay. So it is an essay arts contest that is being sponsored by, delivered by, offered by the VFW Auxiliary of Post 8100, Grandview, Missouri, and even perhaps, depending upon if it catches on, perhaps offered beyond just Post 8100. But as you know, Brother Walker, we here in Kansas City, Missouri, Greater Kansas City, happen to be located where the national BFW office is, so that we get an opportunity to reach out even beyond Greater Kansas City. I wanted to mention that, but also not just that one specific activity that we plan to formally announce sometime soon, but also in as much as I had that privilege to be on the youth committee for the Veteran Foreign Wars Auxiliary, there will be other activities of which we are a part. And those activities, we hope, Brother Louis George Walker, will include partnerships, interaction with the Black Family Technology Awareness Association and other affiliations that you have. Now, my having said that, because I am really enthusiastic about that, and I do thank God that we have this opportunity this afternoon to even talk about these things, I am asking you, Brother Walter, if you will allow our webcast audience to learn something about, and I will let you elaborate, STEM City.
Okay, Carl, just a second. Let me bring myself into view here.
All right.
There.
I see you plainly.
Yeah, I want to get on the screen with you there. They won't think that it's just a voice coming out of nowhere.
There you go.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Louis George Walker, and I'm host of the BFTAA and More show here at KUAW Radio, and that stands for the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, which is the parent organization of KUAW Radio, which you're listening and watching right now. So you may be listening on one of our listening channels, which is Online Radio Box, mytuner.com, the TuneIn Radio, or if you have one of those Amazon and smart speakers, you can tell it to play KUAW Radio. You may be listening to us right over that smart speaker. You can also watch us on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter right now. And you can even join into the conversation. If you have a comment that you want to bring up, you can post it in Facebook and it'll show up right on the screen. Trying to see if we've got that started. If not, I'll start it in just a minute. But so that your comments will come in live right on the KUAW screen as we're talking here. And those are some of the things that we're doing, but we're even doing more. Other than just coming to you here and just coming in live, we're trying to be part of what the Black Family Technology Awareness Association does, is to bring technology to the African American community, so our families, so our children, so our community can benefit from the digital revolution. You know, we've got a lot of people talking about the digital divide. Well, you've got to be aware that you're even behind in something before you can work out. So that's why we named this the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, and we're to help bring awareness into the greater Kansas City minority community, and then the greater Kansas City community at large. So it's not just for minorities, it's not just for blacks. We have a focus on the urban core, but we bring information to everybody. And with this radio station, we're even taking it worldwide so that people can get information. But I know that a lot of people have heard, there's been a lot of talk about the metaverse. Facebook even changed their name to Meta, and a lot of people was wondering what was that about, why they even changed their name to Meta. Well, the metaverse is basically what they're calling Web 3.0. And when you first got the internet, it was just the World Wide Web. Then when we were able to start interacting with social media like we do now so much, that was part of Web 2.0. So Web 3.0 is the metaverse. It's more immersive than the way that we've been communicating, the way we've been dealing with the web. So instead of just seeing videos, you're supposed to kind of get into it. In the purest form, it's going to be a 3D format where you'll be able to go in as an avatar and walk through libraries and talk to people. You'll be able to go in and become a part of, say, the Civil War, and you'll be on the battlefield with the troops moving around you and stuff, so that you're going to be more immersed in your learning, in your knowledge, and in things that you can do and to interact with people. Like right now, we're meeting in a 2D format where we're just looking at two pictures of us, but this would be more, 3.0 would be like me and Carl sitting at a table where our hands could meet, where we could simulate a shaking of hands, where you would see us all the way around. You'd see the back of my head and the front of my head, all of that. So that's what the metaverse is about. So we're taking the first steps in the metaverse, the first steps, and one of the organizations that is doing some things really out front is the Career Communications Corporation. or Career Communications Group, CCG. They put on the Black Engineer of the Year awards, the Women of Color in STEM and Science awards. They're also the publisher of the Black Engineer and Information Technology and Engineering magazine. And their creator or their founder is a man named Mr. Tyrone Taborn. Tyrone Taborn, back in 2003, had came up with an idea called Black Family Technology Awareness Week. And in that week was supposed to be a time when you showed different things on different days about how African Americans are doing in technology. That's what started our group. We actually had Black Family Technology Awareness Week right here in Kansas City. I think in the second year of it being in existence, second or third year, we started doing it here in Kansas City. We kept it going, and right now we're still one of the organizations that does Black Family Technology Awareness Week. So as part of the Black Family Technology Awareness Network, Mr. Taborn always includes us in things that they're doing. He helped us get into the robotics program, and now they're working on the metaverse. So the metaverse, from our standpoint, from the Career Communications Black Family Technology Awareness standpoint, has taken its first steps in a platform called STEM City USA. STEM City USA is a metaverse platform. It's in 2D, what you're seeing now, and what we're going to be investigating today. But it's actually going to be developing on, or they're actually in the process of developing it on into 3D and taking it further. They've gotten a honorable mention award internationally. They came in second place for the best metaverse project against a company called KUAW, which is a billion-dollar company and stuff. Well, this Career Communication Group took second place to Qualcomm in the metaverse competition. So this is something that is really good, and it's good for us to be on the ground floor of it. So Kansas City, you're going to be involved in it to a great extent. We're going to have a STEM City, Kansas City location. So when you go to STEM City USA, you'll be able to board a train there or airplane there to fly to all the cities that have STEM cities and see what's going on in their STEM cities. And one of the first that's being done now, and it's being led by Mr. William Wells with a STEAM Village, will be STEM City, Kansas City. So that stay tuned for that coming up. It'll be out there. Now I'm going to show you a little video, give you a little idea of STEM City and what it entails. Let me see if I can bring this up right, because you know the first time you try to do something, it may go haywire, but I don't think so. We're going to do it right. So here we go. STEM City USA.
Fascinating. 2.0 to 3.0, 2D to 3D.
Yeah, that's it.
What if you could build your own city?
Okay, let's get us out of here.
A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve
their
full
big.
potential. A place where every adult
That's
can
all right.
access
We can
job
adjust the
training,
size here.
where health
It
education
is
abundant,
absolutely
where social
fascinating,
justice
not
rule
only
the
that the
land.
developments are taking
place
place, but
without
how
limitations.
rapidly they are
Welcome.
taking place.
You have arrived at STEM City
And
USA.
we will restart
It is
this
what
in
every
just
city
a hot
should be.
second.
A safe
My goodness,
and
so
trusted
that
community
there
where you
are
find
young
and
people,
resources to
grades
help you
what to
become
what, who
everything
might
you
get
are
an
and beyond.
opportunity to participate.
STEM City
That
is
are gonna
unlike
be
anything
involved
you
in
have ever
this.
experienced. It is
Let's
a
see,
digital
just a
twin
second
of the
here.
world around you,
Okay,
only better.
Stop that.
STEM City is about energy
It's
and
Let's
really,
bring you
soul.
back up,
It is more
Carl.
than a digital world.
all right.
You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music,
All right,
and
there we are.
STEM City promises a better
Let's
future
see
for
if we've
children,
got this
with
going
caring
right here.
mentors
Yeah.
and hands-on activities, with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a
What's
healthy
the play in the
lifestyle. With weekly
background?
events
The
addressing
interesting
our
thing to me
community's
is that even as we
STEM
go
City
about
is your
this, we are a
financial
part
well-being.
of the advancement of technology. As,
Yeah, this is really going to be
What if you could build your
a
own
game
city?
changer,
A place
and
where
it's
every
going to be
child
good
can
that
find
we're
nurturing people
going to be
to
in the
help them achieve
forefront
their
of
full
this.
potential.
Wow.
A place where every adult
Wait a
can
minute, I
access
still hear
job
it
training
playing
support,
now.
where health
Oh, okay.
education is abundant,
Now, would
where
someone
social
other than
justice
us be
ruled
hearing
the
something
land.
that we're not
A
hearing?
place without
No, they
limitations.
just hear this going on. It's
Welcome.
running in the
You have
background, which
arrived
it
at
shouldn't
STEM
be
City,
doing.
USA.
Oh,
It is
okay.
what
I
every
thought I
city
had
should
it shut down
a
when not
safe
visible,
and
but it's
trusted
not
community
shutting down.
where you find people and
When it's
resources
not
to help you
visible, so
become
we've got
everything you
another.
are and beyond. STEM City is
Huh.
unlike anything you have
That's
ever
interesting.
experienced.
So
It
I've
is a
got it
digital
turned
twin
off.
of the world around
And
you.
it's still, I'm
Only
still
better.
seeing it here. You guys can't
STEM
see
City
it,
is
but
about
that's all
energy
right.
and
We'll
soul
get it.
renewal. It is
Okay.
Get
more
it
than a
together
digital
here.
world.
Sometimes some of
You
these
can
things
almost
on the
feel the
internet
power of
take
live
on a life
cultural
of their
events,
own.
music, and theater.
Let's see,
STEM
I'll
City
go to
promises a
interact
better
with
future
it.
for children.
When
with
you talk
caring
about
mentors and hands-on
Black
activities.
Family Technology Awareness
There.
Association, oh, you got
Okay.
it?
I got
Okay.
it paused, so it's not talking in the background while people are seeing us and hearing us. So excuse us as we go through a slight technical issue, but we're going to bring STEM City back to you, and I want to bring it from the very beginning.
Okay.
So that's what, let me back it up, and we'll get us ready again. Let's see. Got to get it where I can interact with the screen. Oh, you got to love technology. All right, so now I'm going to take Carl and I off of the screen, and you'll be able to see the video from STEM City. Let's see. Now, Carl's not going to be seeing this with us.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, Carl.
Unfortunately is right.
Yeah, now if I showed my computer screen, which would be just a whole nother layer of fiddling around. Okay, let's see if we can get you large here. Full
All right.
screen. Oops.
You can just give me the play-by-play when you're done.
Okay, and as
Well, I
we
guess it
go
wouldn't be
through it.
play-by-play. You can give me the summary of it when you're done.
So here we go. Let's see. Yeah, we could do it a little better, but
What if you could build your own
This is
city?
fine.
A place where
There
every
we
child
are.
can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support, where health education is abundant, where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children, with caring mentors and hands-on activities, with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle, with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being, with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City, USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
all right. So as they say, this is going to be a place where the whole family can come. You can come and play, come and learn. All right, so that was STEM City. That's just a preview of it, and that is one of the things that is going to be available in the very near future, and KUAW will be a part of it. One of the shows that we're wanting to take to STEM City now, early, will be Waive Your Grades.
Thank you, thank you,
So
thank
not
you.
only will you be able to
Wow.
pick us up here in Kansas City, but it'll also be part of STEM City. So I want to send that to them and see that if it's approved, even though it's a not a daily show, it's a weekly show, but we want to see about getting it on there. And they're also going to archive the parts of it also. So that'll be a thing. And I may, let's see if we can show you a little bit of it in live time, Carl, while you are still here.
Okay.
With us. I think if I bring up the screen, and this, everybody stay tuned or stay with us as you're seeing some of the things that we try and learn and do new things on KUAW Radio.
Without a doubt.
That we can bring to you and actually show you things that are happening. So I'm going to go to STEM City, and I'm going to share the screen with Mr. Carl Boyd.
All right.
And see if we can all see STEM City together.
Outstanding. I appreciate it very much.
We'll do that right. Let's see. Yeah, there it is right there. Okay, so we went to the side.
Yes.
That went to the big screen, but on the video going out, we're not there. So that's not going to work. But this is STEM City, Carl. We'll have to bring us back in because everybody's not seeing this as I've done the share.
Okay.
So now, unfortunately, we can't show that out to everyone.
I'll tell you what it reminded me of, and I do have a question or two for you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Usually you're doing a double and triple duty, so let me know if you have to leave.
No, with the holiday weekend and stuff, it's I'm here alone.
All right, so let me say this to you, that immediate image reminded me of my wife and I being invited by Disney to go to Orlando, Florida. And while we were there in the park, in Disney World, you would see a scene that looked like a movie set. And you would see all of these things in the background, and that very brief viewing of STEM City with the buildings, the cars, the street signs, and all of that reminded me of a movie set.
And that's kind of what the metaverse will be like. It's like we'll be on the movie set. Ourselves and stuff, so we'll be able to experience a little deeper. You've probably seen some commercials. There's a company running a commercial now, and it shows kids listening to a debate going on in the Roman amphitheater, and they're right there listening to the discussion with 3D images around them. So that type of thing is what's coming. So now with STEM City USA, we're actually going to be within the city, there is a newsroom. And the newsroom has a lot of different stations that they can go to and stuff. Well, they want KUAW to have a spot in STEM City where people would go and click on or see when KUAW was going to be doing a broadcast. They would click into the screen, and there our broadcast would be. So what you see right now would actually be showing at a STEM City location also.
Well, let me tell you. Tell Brother William Wells he'll be proud of me, at least with the thought that did not come to fruition because I left Benjamin Banneker Charter Academy of Technology sooner than we were able to effect it.
Sure.
But William Wells actually succeeded me in my position at Benjamin Banneker, but Wanda and I have Liberian family. And our intention was to teach lessons on technology at Benjamin Banneker Charter Academy of Technology on 64th and Rock Hill, and in Monrovia, Liberia, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So that we would be able to teach a class in Kansas City, Missouri, and in Liberia at the same time.
At the same time, yes.
Now, STEM City is all over the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because the competition that they came in with that second place or the honorable mention was a international competition. It was
Yes.
not a local or even a United States competition. This was in an international forum. So that means that what you do now, as we know, the internet is worldwide as it is, but now we'll actually have another way of reaching audiences on the World Wide Web through a metaverse application. So we'll be broadcasting the same, and we may improve and change the way we broadcast. We have to step up the studio and all of that so that we can have that look and feel for a national audience.
Well, now,
if we go out nationally or internationally, we want to go out looking good.
absolutely. Well, now, let me ask you to address the question that you must get probably more frequently than infrequently, in as much as the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center has been nationally known. I would not be surprised, of course, if it is beyond national, as it relates to helping young people improve academically, as well as socially in leadership and those kinds of things. The first question of school administrators is, how does what you do positively impact academics?
Well, academically, it's going to open up a world, and that's what we want to do here, is to help make that portal available for our young people to be able to learn, just like you say, in Liberia, in Ghana, in Jamaica, throughout the diaspora that we have. It would be good. I mean, in our day, when we were younger, you used to hear about having a pen pal that was in a foreign country that you would contact, and they would email. You'd get a letter maybe once a month, twice a year, or something like that. Well, think of that same pen pal situation as going on now in the world, because there's kids now, they're talking with each other around the globe. You know, there's some of our kids that are on social media, and they're talking to other kids in South Africa right now today. So how about being able to talk to teachers, to see lecture plans, to do a field study in a environment like a metaverse where you actually went out on the Caligari.
Come on.
You know, that you're standing in the sands, that you're seeing the grass blow beside you, and that type of feeling. So those are the things that are possible with this, is that we could go to Jamaica, and we could go to the Blue Mountains, and we could be right there looking at the tropical plants, and not just a picture of them, but a 3D rendering of them. And that you would be able to turn around and see what's behind you and beside you, not just looking at what's in front of you. That it becomes immersive. You know, people see people with these glasses on now. Well, that's part of the metaverse thing too, to where you'll put that on, and then with the right hand sensors and stuff, you could reach out and touch that leaf.
Exactly.
You know, you could look at these things on the ground. You could move stuff to the side and all of that. So the potential is unlimited. Now it can be used negatively also, as with anything.
Sure.
So we'll still have to be careful. There still has to be guardrails. There still has to be protections involved in the metaverse. So I don't want to paint a picture that it's all pie in the sky and it's all going to be good. It's just like with the internet today.
Yeah.
You know, as much promise as it holds, as much as it brings to you, there is a lot that is not great on it too. So we want to go into this with our eyes wide open, but we're working with an organization, with a company that has our like type of sympathies. Like I said, the Career Communications Group is where Black Family Technology Awareness Association got its name. Is working with them. Mr. Tyrone DeBorn, when we first started to have our first Black Family Technology Awareness Week, he flew out here as a keynote speaker to the group that was starting it up. And we had AT&T and the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center and others that were there. And he came to the Learning Center on 55th Street. And we had a rally and a get-together that we were bringing this thing called Black Family Technology Awareness Week, and it just took off. So we've been working with them for, at least 15 years. So
let me tell you,
you say what now?
I was going to mention to you that the first time I ever heard this term was from Harry Tamaris, who was an English teacher at Lindblom High School in the 1950s. And the term was and is stick-to-itiveness. And looking at KUAW, looking at Black Family Technology Awareness Association, you are certainly guilty of stick-to-itiveness, because I immediately assumed when you talked about meeting that gentleman that it was beyond the 55th Street years. So you've been at this for a little while.
Yes, absolutely. And it brings a wealth of connections with that. And we've been able to meet other people. One thing they tell you is networking. So through working with this person, we had a meeting, because BFTAA is now on the Content Advisory Committee for STEM City. So we're one of the people that help bring content to this program. They reached out to us because we have that relationship. But there was a guy on there from Black USA News that he's also on this committee. And I said, well, we need to get with him. And he said, yes, so I got his email and stuff now to say about bringing Black USA News to KUAW.
I'll tell you something that this makes me mindful of. We, for so long, traditionally, when we talk about different, quote, stations, unquote. Now, I'm talking about in the traditional sense of the Federal Communications Commission. And if you thought about different stations, you thought about competition. And what I'm hearing you say is that this brings about the opportunity for cooperation.
Absolutely.
As it were, again, all over the world.
And there was something that will really be of insight to you, is that I know Stoots for Boots has a message for students every day. That goes out at a lot of schools and stuff. Well, I actually met a gentleman that's on the same committee that has some black facts that he puts out, a black fact for every day.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. I've got his email and stuff, so we may seem to bring some black facts in. There may be a partnership that can be tied into that, because he was wanting to see about getting his black facts out more. He says he's a technologist. He knows how to get all this stuff in. He said, but he don't do this other stuff.
Wow.
So you meet people, and that's where you find what are our strengths and weaknesses. I mean, there are people that are designing the metaverse. The one guy that works with not worldwide communications, a guy out of St. Louis that has the big distributing company. But anyway, he's a scientist. He's worked with the CIA. He's a super cybersecurity guy and all of that. But like he says, he has no idea about getting content. So he can help design all this stuff and make the 3D thing work. But so as people coming together to make this whole thing happen, STEM City USA will be a collaborative effort to put out there. So we'll be a part of STEM City, not just a supplier, not just a show on there, but we'll actually be a part of it. And we're in on the ground floor, so we'll have some input in order to help it grow.
Yeah.
And to find content.
One of the things that occurs to me right away, and those who are with us Saturday to Saturday, is the fact that the growth seems so rapid and so expansive. that it seems almost overwhelming. And we have talked with you, Brother Lewis George Walker, about robotics competitions, cooperation between young groups, different schools, and all of that, so that you will continue to have some of what you have already engaged as well as this, or will some things have to be substituted for?
Yeah. I tell you, we're hoping to keep everything and continue to grow. We thank God for presenting things to us. I mean, this has just been a labor of love, of trying to get information out to the community, trying to help young people working in the community, networking, and it's fun, because I've always liked technology and gizmos and gadgets, so to be on some of the cutting edge of it is just great. I'm like a kid in a candy shop when it's like they're talking about this metaverse and how we can do it. It's like, okay, yeah, that would be great. You could do this, you could do that. But yeah, God has a way of presenting things at times. Sometimes you may get down and think things aren't going quite right or as well as you want them to go or as fast as you want them to go. But it's not always in your control.
And
you have to remember whose control it is.
Praise God. We believe that.
Yes. And things will come along at times, and as long as we try and be ready for it and to recognize opportunities that come, that's going to be the great thing. Because there's a lot of young people that I hope in this city we can get them involved in what's going on with STEM City all over, because there should be a STEM City high school, a STEM City lounge for young people, for their game development, for all kind of stuff that they want to do, not just what we think they should do. So I want kids to be involved in what do you want to do? What would you like to see in a city? And those are some of the ideas of competitions that are going to be coming up, is what would you like to be able to do in STEM City?
Now,
in a city.
I have a name for you.
Okay.
It is someone with whom I have not necessarily lost contact, but it's been a long, long time since Wanda and I were at this lady's house for dinner. Her name is Natalie Barge. Natalie Barge. Natalie, by the way, went to Tennessee State University when Wilma Rudolph and Barbara Jones were running track at Tennessee State. She, at the Learning Exchange in Kansas City, Missouri, used to run Exchange City.
Okay, yes.
That was her responsibility for the fifth graders who would come in. And that rendering that you offered reminds me that here you would have a youngster who's the president of the bank. And here is another youngster who's responsible for transportation. And here's another youngster who has a grocery store.
Absolutely.
So that here you have these opportunities that expand beyond, because the technology allows you to go places that one location wouldn't allow for.
Absolutely. And those are the things that are going to be possible. One of the things I was looking at as I was doing this is that this is not all new. This is just the technology has gotten advanced to where they can do more with it, because having an avatar that explored other areas, I had access some university, and I was thinking about that the other day. I've got to look them up, but they actually had where you named your avatar and you walked through sites, but it was real rudimentary, the graphics, the everything that you were doing, to where technology has come so far with so much speed and the processors can do so much more that now it can be more realistic.
Now, how would you define that word, that term, avatar?
Okay, the avatar is your representation in the digital world. Okay, so you make you. That goes through the world and stuff. So just like the movie you saw, Avatar, that they had out a few years ago, and I think they're coming out with a part 2 of it. But basically, you put on the headset and stuff, and your creation then goes out and experiences things. Now, we've had science fiction movies showing that as good and bad. What if you watch the what was that, the thing with Keanu Reeves a few years ago, The Matrix. The Matrix was a metaverse.
Yes.
You know, because all mankind now was connected, and people were just laying up in warehouses, hooked up, and living lives virtually. They never walked around or did anything. They were plugged up into the computer system, the Matrix, and they lived their whole life through that, not knowing that they weren't really living it, that was just a simulation.
I have something that I really, really want you to address. Let me remind those who are part of this webcast that this is, in fact, Wave Your Grades. We talk to veterans and we talk to young people who are honoring veterans with their excellence. This happens to be the 4th of July weekend, Saturday, July 2nd, and had this God-given opportunity to speak exclusively with Brother Louis George Walker, and you need not be reminded because you know so well, but I don't mind saying it repeatedly, the founder of KUAW, but more importantly, the visionary. So we have had an opportunity today to talk about excellence, honoring those who have served and who are serving. That's the context into to which we put purpose in the program Wave Your Grades. I was going to talk a little bit about Tyrone's program. For instance, when we talk about education, academics, and other programs on KUAW, who are going to be on the cutting edge of this technology. So I thank you for that opportunity. And here was the question that you made me mindful of when you were talking about things are indeed meant for good that are sometimes unfortunately used for bad. What are the guidelines, precautions, pieces of advice that you give to parents and guardians for young people engaging today's technology?
Part of what we want to do is, and it's been around a long time, is to be vigilant that parents should know where the sites that kids are going to, and depending upon their age, having the computers and stuff in a room where everybody can access them and see what's going on. If you have a den or if you have a kitchen table or something like that. And also parental controls. Most of your computers, your phones, and all that do have features for parental control. So if you don't know, you should contact your AT&T, your Verizon, your Comcast, whoever, and find out about the parental controls that you can put on that can eliminate or watch for profanity, can watch for things that are not age appropriate, so that you can control some of the sites. You don't have to hand a child a phone and just say, go at it.
Right.
With no controls. You know, that's like giving them a gun and say, we'll see you later.
Exactly.
They may do anything because they're kids and they're going to be curious and they're going to do things. But there are, especially say with your 10, 11, 12-year-olds, they've got phones now. They've got the internet. As I said, when they had that shooting going on in Uvalde, a bunch of the students were calling home, calling 911 and things like that. So kids in the 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, they've got the phones, they've got the internet at their fingertips. But it can be controlled. It doesn't have to be wide open.
Let me tell you that what is so inspirational about having this opportunity to speak at length today. When I hear you talk about KUAW.org and the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center and the Black Family Technology Awareness Association being on the cutting edge of what is going on, what you make me mindful of in a way that I had not considered before this afternoon and this conversation is we are finally in an era where parents and students actually can learn at the same time, actually can learn together.
Absolutely. Yes, if you don't know, you can be learning that system, that computer right along with the kids.
Yes.
You can be right there with them. You can and not feel bad about it. It's all
That's
exploration.
exactly, you read my mind. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so those are things that we do. I just want to make a technical note to people. I was looking at my program, and for a while there, we were off the air on Facebook. We were on YouTube all the time and on Twitter. But I was wondering why no chats were showing up in there, and I went up there and I had clicked the link and showed we was connected, but from time to time these things decide to disconnect themselves. For those of you that are getting us on Facebook now and you missed a lot of the show, I will repost the show from the YouTube feed and run that again so that you'll get the full show, because I don't know exactly how much they may have missed, but I looked up there and I thought, okay, did they not get some of the stuff we were talking about? But that's the technology world that we live in today, and we're pedaling as fast as we can to keep up.
Well, I'll tell you, the reason that I was saying that you read my mind is because there have been times, and you and I have lived long enough to know and have observed, when parents have been embarrassed about helping children with homework because they didn't feel that they knew enough about different topics to be as much of a help as they could. But in today's world, we need not be ashamed of what we don't know, because the most brilliant in the areas of technology still have things about which they know little. And you can be in your 50s and share some knowledge with a 7-year-old, and again, not be ashamed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one of the things about meeting other people. Sometimes you feel like, well, that you're not enough or have enough, but as you get around more people, and you'll find out even the people that we think are the smartest have some things they don't know.
Yes.
You know, and usually they're not afraid to say it, but some of us are afraid to say it. But, you know, I've run into people that have PhDs and all, but they say, well, you know, I can't do this and I don't know how to do that. And it's just okay. You know, so,
exactly.
But sometimes we get to thinking that, well, we should know. And you know, as some people can't change a tire and some people can. It's not that one is better than the other. It's just people have learned different things.
That's exactly, and have had different experiences.
Different experiences. Is absolutely.
But I think that what is so good about what you do and what you do consistently is help all of us to feel comfortable asking the question.
Yes. Yes, and that's what you've got to do. I was going to say that stay curious.
Yes.
The one thing is to stay curious, stay teachable. My grandmother was one that she always would give you a book. And as much as all through I'm growing up, and she lived in Chicago, Illinois, and on South Cottage Grove for years. But when she came to town...
You said your grandmother?
Huh?
You said your grandmother?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she had moved to Chicago way back. As far as I knew, she lived in Chicago all her life, but I found out she did come from Louisiana. But anyway.
Well, she didn't live too far from Sam Cooke, but she was older than Sam because...
Okay, yeah. There's some tall apartments and stuff over there on Cottage Grove, and it was really nice and stuff. Yeah. When we went up there, I thought, man, this was super modern, you know?
Yeah, that is wonderful. Yeah.
30-something South Cottage Grove.
Well, she was not far from the streetcar barn back in those days, and the A&P grocery, which was on 39th and Cottage Grove.
But in all her years of coming to Kansas City for all the holidays and all that, she never brought me a toy.
Oh.
She always brought a book.
Thank you very much.
What kind of book you want? What do you need? Like the first Cat in the Hat books that we saw that came out, my grandmother gave them to us.
And now you're grateful.
Oh yeah, yeah. Our first set of encyclopedias. We come home one day, a big box had been delivered. Grandma bought a set of World Book. You
Let
know,
me
so
tell you something, man. If you got a book of encyclopedias,
woo, yeah.
oh, you know what that speaks to? Look at this. It's already almost time for the program to be over. We're going to have to engage this conversation again, and I'll tell you
Yes.
why. When you mentioned encyclopedia, we happen to be of an age where we can honestly say we used to look forward to next year's encyclopedia. When you think about the turnover of all of the knowledge that we could gain, somebody would say this is going to come out in another year. Man, all of a sudden we had knowledge that would come out in 6 months. Who knew that the turnover of knowledge would get to a point where we would be looking at each other saying, well, what time is it? I'm
Yeah.
getting ready to engage this app because
Yeah.
all of this knowledge is presented to us in the present time.
At your fingertips.
At your fingertips and instantaneously. My goodness. I almost want to apologize to you taking up the entire hour. I wanted to ask you some things. So thank you for doing this for Wave Your Grades.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I want everybody to stay tuned for STEM City. And as KUAW does get to a point where we're rolling out on there, we will be announcing it on the air as soon as we get a chance. Hopefully one of our first shows to roll out will be Wave Your Grades.
Thank you.
So we're going to see about that. So I'm going to be pushing for it. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, that we see if we can get Wave Your Grades to be one of the first shows that KUAW will have on STEM City, on the STEM City platform.
And in as much as the programs are recorded, we are on record. Thank you very much. We accept both the invitation and the challenge, and truly, seriously, the privilege. God bless you. Thank you very much. Coming to the end of the program, Brother Louis George Walker, as you know, Wave Your Grades has a morning message for every day of the week. This morning's message was, to students across the USA, your Stoots for Boots message for this day, July 2nd. Through social media, you must help each other in class and with class online. Our troops observe how you treat one another as they leave no comrade behind. This is Wave Your Grades on KUAW.org. We have been privileged to have as our very special full program guest, Brother Louis George Walker. Thank you so much. My name is Carl Boyd. Gracious God.